Let's go now to business, where the fuel scarcity in Nigeria has lasted for several months now, resulting in a lot of inconvenience for citizens. However, a sudden disappearance of long queues at petrol stations in Lagos seems to have raised hopes that things may soon return to normal. News Central's Niyi Omoniyi reports that the Lagos state government has, in the meantime, stepped in to cushion the effect of the increased transport costs that trail the fuel scarcity. His report.
Noting the significant effect of the recent petrol shortage in Lagos Southwest Nigeria, the Lagos state government directed operators of regulated bus and ferry services to recalibrate their ticket validators to effect a 50% fare cut. At the Falamo Jetty on Lagos Island, the fare cut seems to have been implemented, but for state-owned boats only.
I bought the Cowrie. I have the Cowrie card already. But when I let me just benefit from at least from what the government asked us to benefit from. I bought the card, but unfortunately, the boat is not enough.
Private boat passengers, however, do not get to enjoy the same luxury. Ola, a Lagos boat operator, explains.
I know the software for ferry. I don't boat our own now. I don't get boys to buy fuel. I can't get the use. Sometimes I go for the station. They don't go buy. They don't do the software for us.
I'm used to taking ferry anyway, but the fuel scarcity is depressing. I won't lie to you. That's just the word.
While many public transport operators have been forced to increase their prices, and some have had to reduce the number of services they are running, beneficiaries of the fare cut at state-owned bus terminals want more.
Actually, we usually pay 600, but with the 50% reduction, I think it makes a whole lot of sense.
It is good coming at this time when things are tough. It's difficult to have money, it's difficult to get money. Even if you have it in the bank, you can't come by it. So it's good. But the government can do more. That's what we are saying.
Although the fare cut has not directly impacted the queues and lengthy delays at petrol stations, the supply of petrol seems to be coming around.
What I've noticed is there's a bit of improvement. You get, but filling stations who have names, that's the popular ones like NNPC, Total. They've been selling. They've been considerably. They've been answering cars considerably.
At normal rate.
At normal rate, yes, at normal rate. That's why usually their queues are usually more because they sell at normal rate. Unlike the other, maybe they call them independent marketers, those who don't really have popular names.
While the government is still monitoring how the masses are coping with a fare cut, residents beg and call on the government to do something about the fuel scarcity and, of course, the cash swap crisis in the country. Niyi Omoniyi, reporting for News Central Lagos.
In the meantime, Nigerians have continued to complain as accessing cash continues to be difficult, even as the initial CBN deadline for using old notes expired today. However, the Supreme Court's ruling on deadline has added a twist to the story. News Central's Omolola Ololade tells us more.
This is the current situation of things at most banks across the country. A crowd of people in long queues trying to withdraw cash for their business or personal needs. Nigerians have continued to face difficulties obtaining both the new Naira note and the old Naira note, especially as the February 10 deadline expires. In spite of the Supreme Court order to stop the Central Bank of Nigeria from implementing the February 10 deadline on the Naira swap, the people complained bitterly about how things have gotten worse in trying to access funds.
We got, they gave us our number because it's by like number. So I was 421. I waited for like 2 hours and that's got into my turn. I was already having migraine. I had to go home to go and sleep and then come back. So I came back around 8 in the night. I came back around 8 in the night. When I got here, it was already they've already passed my number. They're already in 750 something. Now I'm here again. And to be honest, today on is the worst because it's not even orderly. They're not giving out number. He's not paying for now, and they are not even giving out number. Just imagine now that if he start paying, how is it going to be?
For up to now, I cannot even assess if I'm not even sure if I'm going to get money today. So I don't even know this deadline that they placed, if it's feasible. I can't tell because as it is now, the situation now, as the day gets closer, is getting worse and worse. So I don't know. if the government will look into it and maybe find the best possible way to see how they can alleviate these issues, I think it would be better for everybody.
However, some people are of the opinion that the February 10 deadline was never feasible, while appealing to CBN to extend the deadline for a longer period.
It's so terrible that instead of having 3 ATM points working, they are only using 1 ATM point. So inevitably, they are creating that crowd for people to see. To me, I think the government need to have a rethink on this February 10 deadline. Let it develop till maybe until June or July, because you see, our economy is a mono economy. People live on daily income.
While some are agitated about the happenings surrounding the cash scarcity, others think the cash swap policy is a brilliant idea to help put things right for the forthcoming general elections.
I see the reasons why this is like this. I believe what is happening now is for our own good. That is how I see it. It's for our own good, based on the election that is coming. There is cash. Maybe after the election, the money will float. I know why they are doing this. They are doing this just to make sure we get the real proper elections, so that people will not use their money to buy the election.
Although some banks have been shut for days, making the situation worse, the old Naira note continued to be legal tender in Nigeria until the substantive case is decided according to the Supreme Court's ruling. Omolola Ololade reporting for News Central.